today's topic, which comes from having quite a few consultations recently, man, where men are overreacting and not overreacting to an actual event, but overreacting for the expectation of an event. It's kind of that mindset when you meet someone and they say something, it could be an innocent statement, but it triggers something that happened in the past based on a similar statement that someone else may have done to you or that you may have seen somewhere. What we're going to discuss today is how to stop allowing people to push your spiritual buttons, making you over emotional. Stop letting people push your spiritual buttons, press your spiritual buttons, causing you to become overly emotional. An overly emotional response is never the proper response. I say again, an overly emotional response is never the proper response. Famo, salute. So let's understand one thing. When you respond with fear, anger, or sadness, or some other form of despair, without first properly and logically assessing a situation or circumstance, you have allowed someone or something external to block your internal frequency. Now, what's that internal frequency? Somebody throw in the chat what that internal frequency is. It's a very simple concept. We talk about it all of the time. This internal frequency is what must govern you at all times. You must not allow external things to block your internal frequency, because then you will respond with emotion. And even if you respond to an emotional situation, you don't respond with emotion. You have to view everything logically in order to respond properly. So that internal frequency is your spirit man. When you respond emotionally, you ignore your spirit man. You ignore the man who has the intent. You ignore the aspect of yourself who has the propensity to guide you properly. See, we must remember that spiritual astuteness is the key to life. It doesn't matter about whatever you have financially, whatever you accomplish career-wise, all of those things are fine. And all of that is good until tough times come, until trying times come, until pressing times come, until negative energy arrives, until negative circumstances arise, until challenging situations face you. Then you have to rely on spiritual astuteness. And the way to spiritual astuteness is to exercise your spirit, man. We always in the gym, always in the gym. My shoulder's sore right now. We always in the gym working. We always dieting. We always training our brains. But how often do you train your spirit, man? How do you train your spirit, man? By exercising his ability to respond to the circumstances and situations. Now, let's be honest. The ultimate goal for most of us is peace of mind. Even in the face of adversity and uncertainty, we still want peace of mind. As a matter of fact, that's when we want peace of mind the most. Peace of mind is easy when things are going great. Who doesn't have peace of mind when things are going great? We want peace of mind in the face of adversity and uncertainty. We want peace of mind when situations change in a way that we can't control them. That's the key to peace of mind. You don't have peace of mind if it only works when things are good. You're just in a good space because everything is going well. Now, with the ultimate goal being for peace of mind, an inability to maintain that calmness in the event of an uncomfortable situation is a heavy burden to carry. Like when you don't have the ability to maintain calmness, when you overreact all of the time, when you can't even present yourself from overreacting. When something happens and you go all the way overboard, then you are carrying a heavy burden. You are carrying the burden of dissatisfaction with yourself. And it's even heavier when you realize in retrospect that you overreacted. And you overreacted to your own detriment. The way you overreacted is causing turmoil in your life. The way you overreacted is causing a negative outcome in your life. The way you overreacted is robbing you of opportunities. The way you overreacted It's robbing you of relationships, the way you overreacted. It's robbing you of peace of mind, the way you overreacted. It's robbing you of self respect, self esteem, self love, self worth. It is depriving you. That's a heavy load to carry. It drives people to relying on substances. It drives people to relying on just, hey, I'm just going to live this carefree way of life. YOLO, you only live once. What we must remember is this: the human emotional state initiates a panic mode when a current circumstance even remotely resembles a past traumatic experience. So, have you ever met someone who, when you say something, they say, "Well, I've seen this before. I've heard this before. Yeah. Well, this sounds familiar. Yeah. Well, I know what that means. Yeah, yeah. I've been down that road before." Have you ever dealt with somebody who says that? That's a person who's carrying burdens from the past, and every single thing around them triggers them to something. Those people carrying a heavy emotional burden, a heavy traumatic experience burden from the past, and they're waiting for any little thing that resembles anything so they can trigger that panic mode that the human emotional state initiates when a current circumstance even remotely resembles a past traumatic experience. It's a method of warding off the potential and expected negative outcome. The problem is, there ain't no way in hell you can determine that that outcome is going to be what you think it's going to be based on what you experienced in the past. You can't go through life trying to ward off the things that have happened to you in the past, because they're probably not going to happen again. It's not about warding off the thing. It's about understanding the energy of people. It's about being so deep into your spiritual man that you can notice the energy of people, that you know the energy of people before they bring it out. You can't let someone keep you tied to their past. It's one thing to be tied to your past. How you gonna let somebody keep you tied to their past? You don't even know their past. Unless you were in that past, how are you gonna let somebody keep you tied to their past? See, in this state of, I guess, we'll call it defense mechanism state, the logical thought process takes an immediate back seat to these protective measures. When someone is in that, oh, I'm going to ward this off. I've seen this before. I know what this is. Oh, no, this sounds familiar. I had better watch myself. When you are in that state of mind, you cannot think logically. And you know what happens? You miss out on blessings in life. You turn away people who God put in your life to help you. You turn away situations and circumstances that are meant to elevate you to where you want to be in life. And here's the thing: the level of internal destruction from that past event determines how quickly and how much you will overreact to the current circumstance. So think about a current circumstance that's not even bad, but you are thinking about the past, and you are allowing yourself to believe that this is even worse than the past, when it's not even as bad, when it's not even bad at all, when, as a matter of fact, it is putting your life to benefit you tremendously. And you look it right in the face and say, no, 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 you look too familiar. This word, one sentence, this is what I've heard before. And here's the problem with that: a lot of times you hear something, and sometimes you have heard it before. Or maybe you should check yourself. See, let me tell you something. If one person in your life tell you irresponsible because you want to do something for them, you ignore that. But the people in your life telling you you're irresponsible because they always got to do something for you, maybe you should look at life from a different perspective. If people in your life you're responsible for are telling you that you're not taking care of your responsibility, maybe you should at least look at it. I ain't even saying they right, but maybe you should take a look at it at least. Maybe you should look into it a little bit. You got to take the time to learn the lessons and receive the blessing from past traumatic experiences. I say again, you have to take the time to learn the lessons and receive the blessings from past traumatic experiences, because anything that didn't kill you made you better, made you stronger, made you smarter, made you wiser, made you more spiritually astute. Taking the time to learn the lessons and receive the blessings from past traumatic experiences is imperative to our quest to become more resilient and resistant to the illogical triggers that cause us to overreact because somebody pressed our spiritual buttons. See, the spirit man is your protector. So when somebody presses your spiritual buttons, that man jumps into protective mode. But if it throws you into an emotional state, those emotions jump in and take over that responsibility for protection. But emotions can't protect you. When you respond emotionally, you are responding opposite to the way your spirit man will protect you, because there is no logic in emotions. There is no logic. Emotion is a fantasy world, man. It either feels good in a fantastical way or feels bad in a fantastical way. That's just the reality of where we're living. But I have an example to show you guys, man. I want to play something for you guys, man. It is a very profound statement from Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, who is now the head coach of CU, Colorado University men's football team. And this is something he's saying, man, is very astute. Fud, man, welcome to the Green Label Gang. Welcome to the kingdom. NSA Al Hobsey, man, appreciate the $100 sponsorship of the show. I give my gratitude and gratefulness to the righteous word. Salute, brother, man. Sincerely, Najee. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you 100%, man. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you supporting the channel as well. Now, let's get into this, man. I want to play something for y'all right quick.
You could sleep in the bed with 2 and 3 women and nobody's satisfied. You got 100 suits, you can't cover up the pain. You got 300, 400, 500 pairs of shoes, you can't take a step in the right direction. You got 9 or 10 cars in the driveway, you ain't going nowhere. You got a 15,000 square foot house, but you ain't got a home. By the time you get to the bottom, because God is calling you collect, and you do not want to accept the charges because you know it's going to cost you something. So
you know it's going to cost you something. You know it's going to cost you something. To become spiritually astute, it's going to cost you something. To become the man that God put you here to be, it's going to cost you something. To become the woman that God put you here to be, it's going to cost you something. To let go of the ways of the world, it's going to cost you something. To stop dealing with the negative naysayers and people that are going to take you in the wrong direction, it's going to cost something. To live a life of peace, it's going to cost something. If you want peace of mind, it's going to cost something. You want to be able to save money for a rainy day and have something for the future, it's going to cost something. You want to not have to worry about watching your back and worry about people trying to do things to you, it's going to cost something. You want to be satisfied and pleased with the man you look at in the mirror every morning, it's going to cost something. Nothing worth having in this life is free. But most things worth having ain't going to cost you no money. Whatever you gain internally, you're going to lose some things externally. And the more you gain externally, the more you're going to compromise yourself internally. Meaning, the more of the ways of the world you are caught up into, the less spiritually astute you will be. The more spiritually astute you become, the more worldly people, places, and things you will lose contact with. But you have to do that if you want to stop letting folks press your spiritual buttons. You have to become spiritually astute. There's no other way to do it.
So that ringing, that noise in your life that you can't turn it off. You up to bat and you 3 for 4 that night and you stolen 3 bases, but that ringing is in your ears and in your head and you cannot turn it off. You go on the football field and you dominate, you breaking up passes, you returning touchdowns, you high stepping, you doing your dance. But after the game, it's ringing and you can't get this out of your head. So now you just crying out. You're crying out for help. And you began to be suicidal. So you sitting on the bench with the Cincinnati Reds, and you 3 for 4, few stolen bases, and you take a bottle of
Telling
pills
you,
right in
brother,
front of all
listen
your
to it. Listen
teammates.
to it,
That's
man.
your cry for
Listen to it.
help because you can't cry. You know why? I'm the man. How can the man cry for help?
How can the man cry for help? How can the man cry for help? It's called humbling yourself. It's called remembering that you're not the man. See, this is a prime example of putting yourself in a situation where people can press your spiritual buttons because you are functioning in the world in an emotional state. You need to be told how great you are. You need to be pedestalized and you need to receive all types of validation, external validation. Here you hear a man saying he had all the external validation in the world, but he was responding with fear, anger, sadness, despair without first properly and logically assessing the situation or circumstance. He has allowed someone or something external to block his internal frequency, to block his spirit, man. The ultimate goal for most of us is to have the peace of mind that this man is speaking of now. But it's easy for him to have that peace of mind now because he's not in that circumstance anymore. But when he was in that circumstance, he's telling you right now that he could not find that peace of mind. Why? Because he had no spiritual astuteness. In this state, the logical thought process takes an immediate backseat to these protective measures. What was his protective measure? A bottle of prescription substances. Take time to learn the lessons and receive the blessings from past traumatic experiences. That's imperative to our quest to become more resilient and resistant to illogical triggers. I bet those same triggers can't trigger him now. I bet those same things can't move him now. I bet those same things can't make him do what he did back then. See, if you don't do that, man, if you can't take the time to learn the lessons and receive the blessings from those past traumatic experiences, this illogic that tries to protect you from reliving those things will force you to perceive the current event as an extension of, or even worse, a more sinister repeat of that past pain. Of that past pain. You are living life dealing with current situations based on the expectation that they will cause you past pain. So people are pressing your spiritual buttons, causing you to run away from blessings, causing you to shun blessings, causing you to look at God and say, I don't want that blessing. It looked too much like the thing that hurt me before. I don't want that blessing. It sounds too much like the thing that hurt me before. You don't have to be a prisoner to your past. You're an adult now. You don't have to be a prisoner to you. You can respond and you can put up the good fight in ways you never could when you were a child. Now you're an adult. You can put up a whole heck of a fight to ward off these triggers, man. Let me tell y'all something about worrying about things happening to you now that happened to you before. Life only repeats itself if you don't learn your lessons. Life is like school. If you pass fifth grade, guess what? Next year you're in sixth grade. If you fail fifth grade, guess what? You're back in fifth grade for as many years as you need to be until you pass fifth grade. Life is the same way. Life doesn't repeat itself if you learn the lessons because the lessons are knowledge. The lessons are wisdom. The lessons are understanding. The more you develop understanding, wisdom, and knowledge, then the less likely you are to even get close to something that's going to be a repeat of the past. You can't say that you're wiser. You can't say that you're smarter. You can't say that you're a better version of yourself while you're still fearing that you're going to deal with the same things that you dealt with before you became this version of yourself. That's not logical. It's not logical. And again, there's that word, illogic. Let me tell you something. You put God first in everything you do, and he will not allow these obstacles to overtake you. If you put God first in everything you do, he will not allow these obstacles to overtake you. So let's do a quick recap. How to stop allowing people to push your spiritual buttons, making you over emotional. Number one, when you respond with fear, anger, sadness, and despair without first properly and logically assessing the situation or circumstance, you have allowed someone or something external to block your internal frequency. Tell your spirit, man, be quiet. And you can't navigate life that way because spiritual astuteness is the key to life. So the more you allow those external things to tell your spirit, man, be quiet, we ain't listening to you right now, the rougher life you're going to have, the less peace of mind you're going to have. Number two, the ultimate goal for most of us is peace of mind, even in the face of adversity and uncertainty. As a matter of fact, especially in the face of adversity and uncertainty. Because an inability to maintain calmness in the event of uncomfortable circumstances can be a heavy burden to carry, especially upon realizing you overreacted to your own detriment. And hindsight is 2020. So in retrospect, you're always going to realize you overreacted to your own detriment. There are many people who give up on life because of that, because that continued cycle of overreacting to the detriment of their own life, their own goals, their own dreams, their own aspirations, their own happiness, their own joy, their own peace. Number three, the human emotional state initiates a panic mode when a current circumstance even remotely resembles a past traumatic experience, as a method of warding off the potential and expected negative outcome. The problem is that outcome is 9.9 times out of 10 not going to happen. But if you're constantly in this emotional state of overprotection, you're never going to logically assess people, situations, and circumstances to see the energy of those things. In this state, the logical thought process takes an immediate back seat to these protective measures. You don't think through anything. You just feel your way through. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. The level of internal destruction from the event from the past determines how quickly and how much you will overreact to the current circumstance. You cannot allow yourself to believe you are reliving life. Okay, if you're reliving life 5 years ago, how old were you? Okay, well, now how old are you? If you was 25 5 years ago and you still 25 now 5 years later, fine. Forget everything I'm saying. But if you were 25 5 years ago and now you 35 years later, you better stop telling yourself that you reliving life out here, because you're not. Number four, taking the time to learn the lessons and receive the blessings from past traumatic experiences is imperative to our quest to become more resilient and resistant to these illogical thought triggers. You have to learn from the past. You have to learn the lessons. You have to receive the blessings. There is a blessing and a lesson in every situation that you've gone through in life, whether positive or negative. There is a lesson, there is a blessing. Sometimes the lesson is the blessing, but there's a lesson and there's a blessing in every single traumatic experience that you've gone through in life. If you don't understand that learning these lessons and receiving these blessings is imperative to your ability to resist these button pushers and having your buttons pushed, then this illogic will force you to perceive the current event as an extension of, or even worse, a more sinister repeat of that past pain. You're avoiding things because you think something that you face when you're 30 is going to make you feel like something that you experienced 10 years ago at 20. Even though if you stay in your logical headspace, the protective measures are already there. The spirit man is already there protecting. Number 5, you don't have to be a prisoner to your past. The past can't hold you. See, here's the thing about the past. The past can't hold you prisoner. If you're stuck in the past, it's you holding on to the past. It's not the past holding you, it's you holding on to the past. If you find me somebody that's stuck in the past, they're holding on to it. There is some emotional attachment, there's some mental attachment, there's some physical attachment to the past. You are stuck in the past because you can't let it go. The past ain't even got no hands to hold on to you. You're holding on to it. Number 6, life only repeats itself if you didn't learn the lessons from those experiences. If you don't learn the lesson, that's why I say all of the time, man, you got to look at every situation and learn the lesson. If you didn't learn the lesson for that class, you're not going to pass the test. Learn the lessons in life. Every situation has a lesson. Learn it, and you will not repeat that same class. And number 7, last but not least, put God first in everything you do, and he will not allow these obstacles to overtake you. But you got to put God first in everything you do. Not some of the things, everything you do. And these obstacles will not overtake you, because if you do that, you will be in tune with your spirit man, and spiritual astuteness, the key to peace of mind, will be yours. And I mean that. B. Ross, appreciate the 5 bones, man. Paying tuition. Salute. Hornet, salute, man. Appreciate the dime. Salute, King. Salute, my squad. Salute, Green Label Gang. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you being in the joint. Again, to my brother Najee, I appreciate the $100 sponsorship of the show, man. I appreciate it. So, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. You know, it's the middle of the day, man. And let's go ahead and get ready to slide out of here, man. BOA will be live tonight, man. So y'all be ready for that, man. Be ready to tune in to that. It's gonna be a phenomenal show as well. Hey, man, I appreciate all the supporters. Appreciate all the new patrons. If you're not on the Patreon gang, man, you got to get that, man. I mean, we dropping them now, man. We dropping them. You know what I'm saying? We dropping them. Long form, man, short form over there, man. So if you ain't over there, man, you need to go ahead and get on over there. So listen, man, I appreciate y'all being in here. We're going to go ahead and slide on out of here. SJ3, Famo, Hornet, salute, man. Just Bob Bowman, appreciate the $2, man. I appreciate you. So, man, let's get out of here. King Ray will be back later on this week, man. And we'll be back in here again with another banger. I appreciate y'all, man. Let's slide. Peace.